John Harbaugh was fired by the Baltimore Ravens. And to be honest with you, the opinion that I have on this, I think is very valid. And the reason why I'm starting that off by saying this is I'm hearing a lot of coaches, former players come out and say, this was a bad decision by the Baltimore Ravens. John Harbaugh is a great coach. And I'm not here to say that I know more than those guys because I so obviously don't. But here's the advantage that I have when talking about this situation. They know John Harbaugh. They've coached with John Harbaugh. They've had dinner with John Harbaugh. They're friends with John Harbaugh. They played for John Harbaugh. I haven't done any of those things. I have no relationship with John Harbaugh. I've never met the guy. I don't really need to meet the guy, to be honest with you, because I don't want to compromise my commentary. And the advantage that I have when talking about this is that I have no ties to John Harbaugh. So I can be honest about the situation. And John Harbaugh is a very good coach. They are absolutely right when they say that. But it is also right to say that he ran his course in Baltimore. He won a Super Bowl in Baltimore. Absolutely. Over 10 years ago. At some point, the honeymoon stage has to be over when it comes to winning that Super Bowl. The fact of the matter is, they have one of the best quarterbacks of this generation, and they have gotten to one conference championship game. They haven't even gotten to a Super Bowl, let alone win a Super Bowl. They got to one conference championship game because they played a Houston Texans team with a rookie quarterback that only scored 3 points offensively. That's the only reason why they got to that conference championship game. Now, granted, they did have a great season to put themselves in a position where they could take advantage of a situation like that, no doubt about it. But if you're not winning Super Bowls, if you're not getting to a Super Bowl or consistently getting to an AFC championship game, then you have to move on while also acknowledging, hey, he's a very good coach. And yeah, we might downgrade by firing John Harbaugh, but we also might upgrade. We might get us a guy that's going to give us a legitimate schematic advantage, something that John Harbaugh did not give to this football team. And that's the way you have to approach this if you're the Baltimore Ravens and the Baltimore Ravens front office. You cannot be afraid to downgrade in the hopes that you could upgrade, if that makes any sense. Sometimes you have to take 2 steps back to take 5 steps forward. Is it going to be a seamless transition? I don't know. Maybe it is. I mean, you've seen coaches take way worse rosters than the Baltimore Ravens, what they have now, to the playoffs. You're seeing that with Mike Vrabel this year, right? You're seeing coaches go into organizations and completely turn around the organization. And I don't think the Baltimore Ravens need that. The Baltimore Ravens need a coach who is going to get them from the really good standard and the really good floor that they have set for themselves and take them over the top and win a Super Bowl. You have a quarterback that's good enough to win a Super Bowl. While, yes, Lamar Jackson is aging, and he's going to have to make some adjustments to his game because he's not going to be as explosive as a runner, Lamar Jackson can pass the football. Are people under the assumption that this guy isn't one of the best passers in football? Because he is. I mean, what he did in the 2024 season, putting up over 40 touchdowns and being as efficient over the air as he has been, or as he was that season, proves to you that this guy can throw the football. I still believe in Lamar Jackson. I still believe Lamar Jackson gets a Super Bowl for the Baltimore Ravens. He's too good to not win a Super Bowl. Now, the team around him has to be better, right? But I believe in Eric DeCosta's, ability to build a really good football team around Lamar Jackson. So, look, when I look at coaches that I think would benefit the Baltimore Ravens, the way I look at that team, they are a player leadership ran structure, right? Not every coach, you don't have to go get, a Mike Tomlin or one of these disciplinarian coaches like a Mike Vrabel or somebody like that to build a culture. The Baltimore Ravens culture is built already. They have the leaders in the locker room. They know who the big dogs in the locker room are. So them going and getting, let's just say, a Clint Kubiak from Seattle That to me makes a lot of sense. I think that would be a really good fit. I want the Ravens to go get somebody that is going to elevate Lamar even further, right? I like Todd Monken. He did some good things. I think you can find better than Todd Monken. I think you can find a better play caller than him. Like, I don't look at him as like a Kyle Shanahan type guy. I think that you can find a coordinator that can like give Lamar Jackson legit complicated concepts for his receivers to run, and he can execute them. And let's just be honest here, right? When it comes to the Baltimore Ravens job, this is the number one job on the market because they have Lamar Jackson. He is the best quarterback out of any team that has a head coach opening. He is the best. It's not even close. So when you have a quarterback who is so clearly the best quarterback out of any one of these teams that has a head coaching opening, that makes you the prime position. The Baltimore Ravens are a franchise that obviously, you saw this with Jim Harbaugh, are very patient with their coaches. They're a franchise that is able to draft very well. They're going to consistently get you talent. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the game. This is as good of a job opening as there's ever going to be. They're going to be able to get candidates that maybe they weren't considering. Like, let's just say, for example, if they wanted to go get a Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame, I think he would seriously consider this coaching job. I'm not saying that's the right fit for this job, but I'm just saying, like, coaches that you may not have thought of as potential candidates are going to be potential candidates for this job. It's kind of like the Milwaukee Bucks when that job came open and they offered it to Doc Rivers. And he's like, well, I didn't really have any plans on coaching again, but yeah, you want me to coach Giannis? Yeah, sure. I'll coach Giannis. Same thing here. Coaches are going to absolutely be open to working with Lamar, no matter what coach it is. Hell, if they wanted to get Nick Saban, they could probably get Nick Saban if they wanted to. Because it's not just working with Lamar, because obviously he's a great quarterback, but it's the franchise, it's the organization that they have built around the head coach. It's the personnel that they bring in. It's the leadership structure in the front office and from ownership. It's a very well-run organization. And few and far between do you see jobs like this come open. So if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I would put together an exhaustive search and I would try and find the best candidate. If you have to go to the college ranks to potentially go get a candidate, then that's what you got to do. There are going to be college coaches that are absolutely willing to take this head coaching job because of, again, Lamar Jackson and the leadership structure from front office and ownership. The combination of the two very rarely comes open when you look at head coach openings. Usually when head coach openings are a thing, franchises are usually starting over, right? Or they're just a poorly ran franchise. That's why they're looking for a new head coach. You know, something like this, it doesn't come open far too often. So it's going to be interesting to see who they hired. They absolutely have a great candidate pool.